How to buy a property in the Riviera Maya or Valladolid step by step. In the previous video, we talked about what a fideicomiso is and when you really need it. Now that we understand the legal part, let's break it down. Because it's one thing to know which structure applies and another thing entirely to understand how the buying process actually works. When someone is thinking about investing in Mexico, the same questions almost always come up. Do I really need a Mexican bank? How much do I have to put down as a down payment? What does the notary do? And if it's really safe? Today I'm going to explain it to you step by step in a clear and practical way, thinking specifically about the Riviera Maya and Valladolid, Yucatan. Step 1. The location defines the structure. Before we talk about money, there's something you need to be clear about. The location defines the legal structure. If you buy in the Riviera Maya, the transaction requires a fideicomiso. If you buy in Valladolid, you can have the property directly in your name. It doesn't depend on the developer, it depends on the location. And when that is understood from the beginning, the process becomes much simpler. And always remember, before making a reservation, validate the developer and check the permits. Don't buy on impulse, buy with certainty. Step 2. Reservation and down payment. And once you have chosen the property, whether it's a house, apartment or land in the Riviera Maya or Valladolid, the process usually starts with a reservation payment. This secures the unit for you while the formal contract is prepared, and then comes the down payment. In structured projects, and especially in pre-sales, it usually works like this. An initial percentage is established, payments are scheduled during construction, and a final payment is made at the time of closing. The percentages can vary by project. The important thing is not the exact number, it's that you have a clear, written payment schedule. Never make decisions based on verbal agreements. Clarity in the contract is what gives you peace of mind. Step 3. Contract review. Before sending significant amounts of money, stop and review the purchase agreement, the payment schedule, the estimated delivery date, penalties for delays, and your obligations and those of the developer. Take the time to review and understand the information. In the Riviera Maya, a fideicomiso does apply and is required for the transaction. In Valladolid, it does not apply. Step 4. The role of the notary in Mexico. Here it's important to clarify something. In Mexico, a notary is not just a lawyer who certifies signatures, they are a specialized lawyer authorized by the government to register real estate transactions. And what does the notary do? They check that the property is free of liens, confirm that everything is legally in order, calculate taxes and closing costs, formalize the deed, and register the property in the public registry. And something very important, you, as the buyer, can choose the notary. But if you don't know anyone, don't worry. The developer will guide you through the process and assign a notary to you. Step 5. Closing costs. In Riviera Maya and in Valladolid, you should consider approximately between 6 and 8% of the property value for closing costs. And that includes the notary's fee, registration costs, acquisition taxes, and trust fees if one is required. These aren't hidden costs, they are a normal and structured part of a real estate transaction in Mexico. Step 6. Do you need a bank in Mexico? This is where many people stop. Banks in Mexico usually ask for local credit history, proof of income in Mexico, and it's often a longer and more detailed process. And the rates are usually higher than in other countries. That's why many people think financing in Mexico is complicated, but it's not. In some developments, there are direct financing schemes. For example, with us at Grupo Emerita, we offer 15 years of direct financing on finished products in Tulum, and we have other financing schemes in all projects. That means you don't need a local credit history, you don't go through a traditional mortgage process, and the payments are structured in your contract. This type of scheme is for those who are planning their retirement in a gradual and orderly way. Later on, we'll talk in more detail about this model. Step 7. Deed and final registration. And once the payment schedule ends, the notary formalizes the deed, the property is officially registered, and if applicable, the trust is activated. In Valladolid, the title is directly in your name. In the Riviera Maya, you remain as the beneficiary of the trust. In both cases, the property is legally registered, and that's where the process ends. Buying a property in Mexico isn't complicated when it's well structured. The key is to understand the legal structure and the processes. And now that you know how to buy in Mexico, in the next video, we're going to talk about something just as important. Why pre-sales can be a smart strategy when you're planning your investment and when they definitely aren't. Because understanding the process is one thing, and understanding when to enter the market is another completely different thing. See you in the next video.